Hey guys, this is Mark Manderville here. I figured it'd be a good idea to do a live screening call of a tenant to kind of help you guys give an idea of how I screen and how I help some of my friends that are landlords screen as well. So hopefully you guys will get some good value out of this. I'm getting on a three-way here right now, so just bear with me and just help understand some of the questions that I asked to help you guys find good tenants too. This person already came to look at the units. This is a room shared.
Mark?
Yes, Rita?
Okay, I have Linda on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Mark.
Yes. Hello, Linda. Good morning. How are you? Or good afternoon.
How are you? Good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, I kind of help Rita with some of her properties and her business stuff. So I just wanted to kind of just take a chance to just kind of help understand, just to see if we can be a solution. So I really respect your time this morning.
Okay, and sorry, just to say to Rita and Mark, my husband Terry is with us on the phone here as well. Oh, hi, Terry.
Yes, hello, Terry.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, if you just put us on speakerphone, if that's best.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sorry, I was just shifting rooms and I had to come out here, so that's right. Okay. So there's four, but you're on the line.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
So Rita markets in a lot of different ways. What ad did you guys see her ad on again? What website do you know?
On one of the websites. Now, honestly, hang on. I have to be reminded of which one it was.
It might have been Kijiji Marketplace or Craigslist.
No. Hang on. Honestly, I'm trying to remember which one it was.
It might have been Craigslist then.
No, it's not. It's not. Oh, Zooper?
Okay.
Hello?
Now that's one that I believe. Okay, that's one that pulls feeds off other sites, I believe. So okay. And Rita, this is the one about the room shared in the house on Marshland, right? Okay.
Correct.
Linda, what's your husband's name again? Sorry. Terry. Okay. Thank you, Terry. So you guys are looking to take possession on May 1st?
Yes.
Okay, because the current tenant is there. Lease is up at the end of April. So, and how many months was your daughter Samantha looking for a time frame for?
Well, we were looking to do a 3 month first, so that she can, so that we can be sure that it's the right fit for her. And then make a decision about potentially a year-long lease following that.
Okay, so looking for at least 3 months. Okay. So not that I care, but because we follow law and stuff. But your daughter is mid-20s?
Yeah.
Just one question overall, and I don't say this in any judgmental way. I have a lot of properties myself, properties in the state stuff too. There's a 55-year-old gentleman who's a very brilliant engineer, originally from Romania. The guy's very professional. There's another gentleman, two other males that's in that unit or in that room share that's very professional. So myself just asking, these two men would be strangers to your daughter. Why? So I commend you in thinking shorter term. That's protection of your daughter. But I'm also curious, like, has your daughter ever lived with, now again, we screen very well. So there's going to be no issues of safety. But do you think that's a good fit for your daughter? I mean, I want your daughter to be comfortable wherever she goes, but living with two other, do you guys think it's a good fit? You know your daughter better than I.
Well, let's put it this way. This is her first foray out of the house, so there's nothing to compare it to.
Okay.
But just trying to get a sense of, when you look at safety and you talk about or make those considerations, that definitely is always a consideration.
Absolutely.
But for a young adult, they have to make safety choices, whether you're talking about where you're physically living or the choices you make in life in all realms. And quite frankly, somebody at that age would need to make those considerations, whether you're talking online, in person, people they work with. So in terms of the residents, and we shared our, concern with Rita, wanting to know that it is, we're trusting Rita when she says that people are vetted And, you know, from what little we know of our interactions with you, Rita, we believe that you care. You really are concerned about who is in your, you know, residence.
Absolutely.
And so the feeling there is positive for us, because the overarching consideration is for any renter is what can you afford for the money that you can spend. And so a long-term goal obviously would be to be able to rent a place entirely or to purchase a place entirely on your own. But that she's not at that stage yet.
You know, Linda, I love the way you think. I've known Rita for years, and you got to be careful out there when you're talking to landlords. There's a landlords that I classify as slumlords and people that just go after the money. So, because I haven't met you guys, I'm just a voice on the phone to you guys. So you're saying that you're screening the landlord just as much as she's screening you guys as a potential tenant, correct?
Well, this is it, yes. And I mean, and we've met, you know, a number of landlords. So yes, of course we're concerned.
Absolutely.
I mean, naturally we are.
Yeah.
And I believe that, you know, Samantha is as well. And the thing is, I guess, I mean, we share a similar cultural background. Parents, even though somebody is out of the house, it doesn't mean that they're out of your life. So that there's always going to be, you know, that close connection. And Samantha's always going to be encouraged to notify, to engage us with any questions. She will probably do the same thing. It sounds like with Rita, the same thing in terms of, you know, if anything is curious or questionable or concerning, that you, first of all, you would let your landlord know, but primarily, and it's tantamount to letting your parents know if there's a concern. And it doesn't matter how old you are as a child, adult, child, whatever, there's still that concern. So
Absolutely.
we want the level of, we want a measure of independence, but not a measure of, I'm going to just be blunt, stupidity. You're going to, you know, gaining independence is a progressive process.
Correct.
So this is new for her. So we want an environment where it's going to be somewhat protective, yet an element of independence. And the thing that we liked hearing from Rita was expectations of the tenants to play a somewhat familial role in the responsibility, the shared responsibilities.
As far as like cleaning, keeping kitchen clean, keeping bathroom clean, because it's all common. Yes. You have to have
like
that
that's
in.
Something like I've never heard. I've never heard that before, and we're quite impressed by that, actually. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Linda, you say you share a cultural background. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. Are you Italian?
Rita's Italian. Yeah.
Oh, you're Italian.
I am, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I mean, that shouldn't be anything other than, I mean, because whether you're Italian or Irish or Newfoundlander or whatever, it's that family-oriented focus. That's the thing that's meaningful for us. Because, I mean, I've dealt with, I come from a career in education, so I've dealt with situations like people, you know, having homestays and living in environments where, you know, the landlord just took the money and that was it. There was no connection with the individuals in their spaces. And I find this impressive that there is a connection and a concern.
So is it safe to say that you would find that Rita, as a landlord, tries to build a relationship with her tenants more than just somebody that's paying money every month?
Yes.
Okay. No, I wanted Rita to hear that, because I've told her that the very first time I met her.
Yeah.
And that's why, in helping her the last, I think 8, 9, 10 years, Rita helped me. That's why she's had like 0 vacancy rates, because she's truly a wonderful person. So,
it's a unique relationship.
Yep,
yeah.
Absolutely. So, and I really like your mindset too, Linda. So of all the things out there, I haven't looked online to see how many things are out there, but of all the places you've looked at, you said you talked to other landlords. Is this location your first, second, third, fourth, fifth choice? And please be honest.
What do you mean by location? Are you talking about the area of the city or the particular residence?
Actually, I mean, as far as the places you've looked at that you're choosing, because you have the right to choose wherever you want to, help your daughter move into. Is this like your first choice, second choice, third choice, fourth choice, fifth choice? I'm just curious.
It would be our first choice.
First choice. Okay.
Yeah.
And you say that because of because of the location or because of Rita?
Location, well, Rita, we've already commented on.
Right.
The connectivity, the connectedness among the tenants and the shared responsibilities. So that means that if people are going to continue to live there, they must be accepting of those responsibilities.
Perfect.
So the location is not far from home for us, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
And then also, just pragmatically speaking, the third thing would be that that's what she can afford. What she can afford is a shared space at the moment.
Sure.
And if you're going to have to engage in a shared space, picture any college or university, sort of living arrangements. Many of us have been through those, where you're living with people that you don't know, which is the case here. But on top of that, having a landlord that there's no connection to. So the tone that's set in those environments is even different than this. So as far as shared spaces go, this is the most ideal that Terry and I have seen. Okay.
And thank you for those kind words. I'm sure Rita thanks you too. So, Rita, of all the calls that I've talked to over the last few weeks in your screening, I think this is one of the best ones because the type of people you're dealing with are respectful. They're screening you as much as you're screening them, and the communication. So I want to commend you on your kind words, Linda. So I guess with that said, I guess I'm just going to kind of jump right into some of the business aspect. Rita, correct me if I'm wrong. She does require first and last. So that would be what's the price point again, Rita? $8.95 per month times 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a car involved for parking?
No, there isn't.
No. Okay. And then what do you charge for key deposit, Rita?
$200.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Linda, just asking directly, because we've had a few calls that people try to say, well, I can move in and give it to you in a week or two. That's not how Rita does business. Do you have the full $8.95 times 2 plus security or plus the key deposit? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know Rita's preference, because she owns a lot of businesses, is to have just an Interact transfer sent.
Perfect. Yeah,
so because that way, have an electronic transaction. One, she's so busy, she doesn't have time to run to the bank, but it gives an electronic receipt for her, the landlord, for protection of time for proper payment, as well as for your guys' protection, knowing that it did go through. Because if you got something sent and wasn't received, well, then we can both point fingers at the bank.
We agree. That's the way we operate as well.
Perfectly. So then first and then last, and then you guys can kind of figure out how you'd want it if she's going to stay longer. Because the thing is, Rita's been doing this so long that there's people that she said some tenants come back and that kind of call her, do you have any openings? So Samantha, we're going to stay longer. The sooner Samantha made that choice, then Rita can let other people say, no, with all due respect, it's not going to be available. Because we've had people kind of lined up as soon as somebody's out, like we're doing right now. As soon as somebody's out, the next person's in, the very next morning. So now help me understand, and I don't say this in any kind of judgmental way. So please, I'm very much like Rita, and I hope to meet you soon. Help me understand the issue of ODSP.
Okay. Yeah. Now, so Samantha is on ODSP. She's on ODSP because she's connected with Community Living Toronto. Okay. And such a connection is possible when an individual has any kind of, just to say it bluntly, but don't take it the wrong way.
Sure.
Any kind of special need or special circumstance that affects one's ability to perform exactly like the mainstream. So in terms of whether it might be a learning disability, it might be, it could be any number of reasons why people go on ODSP. It could be physical, it could be
correct.
It could be mental health for some.
Correct.
It could be learning, like one's ability to learn and perform like competitively. So when you look at somebody like Samantha, she's very intelligent, but with a learning disability, she's got areas of challenge that sometimes will provide where having some kind of job coaching or supports, workplace supports, whether intermittent or more frequent, it depends on the circumstance, that she would need, they would need to have somebody advocate for her in the workplace so that the employer fully understands what her learning needs and abilities are. Okay.
Okay.
Because when you go through school, if somebody, in education, you can label somebody with a learning disability, and I hate the word label, but somebody is indicated as having a learning disability, and there's many types. And a teacher will know a student in a class, and with that identification or knowledge of an exceptionality, everybody knows it, so everybody operates with that understanding in the education system. Those identifications or labels only stay within the education system. When an adult grows up and gets out there, if you or I have a learning disability or you're gifted or whatever the heck you are, you're not going to walk around to everybody you talk to and say, hey, I'm gifted, or hey, I have an LD, or hey, I have whatever it is. It's not public knowledge. And therefore, the level of a sort of advocacy with employers is important, so that an employer can understand the needs and abilities of a worker within the context of their learning needs. And that's Samantha.
Okay.
So very intelligent, but there are a few areas, and with a learning disability, you've got peaks and you've got valleys, and the valleys are the things that are sometimes her stumbling blocks.
Okay.
And when Community Living Toronto is connected and can relate to the employer knows what they're working with without having to say, hey, have you got a learning disability? What's wrong with you? Or what's, why are you taking 10 times longer to do something than the next person? Kind of thing.
Okay. Is Samantha, is she currently employed right now? Does she have a job?
No, she's not. So I was gonna get to that.
Okay.
So she did a diploma in culinary studies, and so she went out into the restaurant industry.
I used to own my own restaurant. Oh, good for her. That's a industry it's a hardworking industry.
It's hardworking, but it's also hard on you when the going gets tough, as you know way better than I do. But she was working at her last place of work, and of course the casualties are going to be either the newest employees or the ones lowest on the totem pole.
Especially in the world of COVID right now.
Yeah, but it's been a year now. It's a challenge, right? So the EI kicked in. For any employees who were, laid off because of COVID, and those supports are, well known for everybody at this point. Anybody who's suffered that fate. She has been receiving EI, so she has a source of income for living. So Community Living Toronto will make sure that the income is either employment support. So you have a measured income for living, for food, for transport, and all of that stuff. And if you're working, or the more you're working and your pay kicks in, the less your employment supports will be. And in this case, the EI would, because of COVID circumstances, if she gets back into the workplace, the EI would either be diminished or eliminated. And employment supports could be diminished or eliminated depending on how full-time the job is. So it's a balance, right?
Okay, yep.
One is increased while the other is decreased.
Exactly. So
yeah.
One, I want to thank you for your explanation. This is a lot more detail of a call that I normally get into, but it's a little more, I don't want to say special circumstance. I don't like labeling either, but there's more information that needs to be, talked about. So thank you for that. So let me ask, would Samantha, does the institution send the money to the landlord like ODSP, or are you guys going to be sending it for her? Or will she be receiving money in her specific account directly to send?
Okay, it'll be Samantha, but we're going to work with her to make sure that it's always there, because we, just as we do anyway now, when she's just to make sure if things have to get paid, we make sure that she's keeping track of everything that she's, paying out and whatever she has to do, whatever bills, or in this case, it would be rent, has to get paid.
Okay.
So we would be, yeah.
You'll be, does the money come directly to her? The assistance? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Is that direct deposited? I'm just curious. I don't know how.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then she has access to the money. It's direct deposited. Is it direct deposited like every week or every month?
No, it's every 2 weeks. It's like either she's getting paid from her employer or she's getting paid.
Okay.
She's getting her employment support.
Oh, okay. And I apologize for asking so many details. I've never been in any kind of assistance, so I don't. I'm trying to understand the technicality of things. There's a lot of that, fortunately, last year that have helped people. So, okay, so she'll have control over it. So, based on I haven't met her, but she would know how to send and interact and how to pay Rita on time.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Oh okay. Yeah.
And so and let me just ask this. I'm a very positive person, but let's say that rent was not paid on the first, and then the second comes. Rita, per law, would serve an N4, which is basically saying that you're late on rent. You have so many days to pay.
Talk to us. We will ensure it's paid on time. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Because I think you two sound like such great parents. I don't see that happening, but helping Rita with business, it's just a business question. So.
No, it's a question. But I just want to say though, so the difference is here, like it's and that's what I was kind of hinting at the beginning about like family involvement or parent involvement. Even though our child is an adult child, we're still very much involved. But I think with good reason, and it's more for support than anything, because you or I, who might have done this 10 years earlier, than 28. This is her 10 year. You know what I'm saying? Like her experiences are different than ours would have been in terms of that initiative or jumping out and being out there. So our involvement is understood both by us and by her. And so if you have any questions with her, and if they're not getting answered, then we are the next source of question to make sure that she is completely in line.
Okay. You know what? I respect you guys for being great parents. I wish more parents were involved in their child's lives. I think the world would be a lot better place, and we wouldn't have some of the challenges the way some people are brought up nowadays. So good for you guys. I can't wait to meet you both. Now let's say, because I'll tell you, this is usually what happens with Rita's tenants. They all want to stay later because she's the kind of tenant. She's the kind of landlord that if she's over at the house and it's Christmas time, she'll cook up a big old, sometimes Italian food or whatever, and invite people over. So your daughter's probably going to want to stay longer if she chooses to. So thinking positively here, that she's there 3 months. How long do you foresee that she is going to continue to need a place? And I'm not holding it to any time frame, just thinking for the future, because every landlord wants a great tenant and every good tenant wants a great landlord. Connecting those two is always a challenge. I get it. But so she's going to love it. I mean, obviously you guys have looked around. This is your first choice for a lot of reasons. Rita's your first choice of landlord. What's going to want her to stay longer? How long do you think she would want to stay? Potentially if things work out very well.
So what we were thinking was is that if things are the fit is established, but for Rita and for Samantha in terms of understanding the fit, that we would look to signing a year lease after that. Because for the question regarding Samantha is how long will she need? Forever. Like this is intended to be the first step forward.
Okay.
Like to getting to complete independence. Yeah.
Okay.
Said I guess as any parent would say it. The only funny thing is, and Rita, you might chuckle about this in terms of the background. Mm-hmm. When we were growing up, if we ever said we wanted to leave the house before getting married, our parents would cut our head off first and then ask questions later, right? Yes, right. But I don't have that same philosophy. We don't. I'm going to say because Terry definitely has the same philosophy I do. But from a background perspective, I would like to see my, girls go out and have some independence, but in a way that's proper, not stupid. Run off just because, you're crazy making and I want to get out of the house kind of thing. I want it done in a proper way and in a safe way, in a progressive way, and in a way where that ongoing relationship with parents continues. Because a young adult, I don't care how smart they are, they're always going to have questions and they're always going to have the potential to run into difficulty. Yep.
You have another daughter too, Linda?
We're a blended family, so we've got 3. We've got 2. I have 2 stepkids, and we have 4 grandchildren. So it's a family orchard.
How many other people do you have looking for housing besides Samantha?
Well, yeah. So, and I think that's what Rita was wondering what I was talking about at first. But yeah, we have 2 of our daughters still at home, and we were originally looking to have them live together, but I would rather them not be, because they're sometimes they're more of a problem to each other than a support, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
So it's like sisters, right?
I understand.
And I think it's better just to have, I'd love to have the 2 of them. We would. When I say I mean we would love to have the 2 of them, live together and be able to support each other. Because I'm not sure that, people have marriage as a vocation, people have the single life as a vocation, whatever it might be. If marriage isn't in it, in the near future, at least they would have each other, to be able to support each other. But I think at this point, we'd like to see Samantha have some independence even from her sister.
Okay, I get that. That makes sense. I would probably agree as a parent.
Because they're both in their late 20s, so they're 15 months apart. So they either get along like a house on fire, or they clash, and so it's probably good for them to have a bit of a space from each other.
Okay, now it makes sense. Rita told me something at the very beginning when you guys saw the place earlier this week, that you were looking to get Samantha settled first as your first priority. Then you're looking to get your other daughter settled in the next couple months as well, or sooner.
Well, it would be. I don't know that it's going to be a couple of months, but it'll probably be longer than that. If we weren't going to get them out, if we were going to be able to get them out both in the same apartment, and that's when we were looking at apartments, right? Because, the 2 of them, and again, it all comes down to what you can afford as well. If the 2 of them, would be able to, better afford something that's in an apartment building, let's say, right? Because you'd need a 2-bedroom.
Right.
But there's still that. So, barring that, and we're not that worried about it. I think it's probably just as well that we're just working with Samantha at the moment. Okay.
Because really, I really like the way you're talking, Linda. Rita, my thought with this is, and I guess I'll go on a little tangent when I say this. Society's so negative nowadays. People default to the negative just in discussion. I see it all the time on Facebook. I see it in the news. I see it so much that, Rita, my thought is you've got 7 units. You've got seven available, at that same location. That if Linda, I'm just saying it's Rita's decision, but there's a 3-bedroom. Now the price is a little bit more on the same property. I would just say maybe keep in touch with Rita in the future, because if she has an opening or knows of an opening, I just know her so well. I can see you guys would get first choice. That way your daughters aren't living together.
That's their mind.
They're not living together, but they're living at the same address, but not in the same room. They have different entrances and things like that. And that way,
that's not
you as a parent, logistically, that helps you to keep an eye on them at one location.
It has crossed our mind, actually.
So I'm just trying to think solution, in this situation.
It has crossed our mind. But we didn't broach it with Rita because we weren't aware that anything else was available. But yes, we would certainly be open to the idea. And you hit it on the mark, pun intended. You hit it on the mark, Mark.
Well, I was going to say I tend to hit it on the mark, pun intended, all the time. So,
no, but the idea being co-located, but not in exactly the same space, where there can be togetherness but independence at the same time, that would be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Rita, correct me if I'm wrong. Justin in the apartment next door, or in the same property at Marshland, he's out the end of May, right?
Yeah.
And then did Michael resign?
Yeah.
So Michael's through what? August, September?
He's another 6 months.
Okay. Well, and you can always, you can talk to her as things, because some people want to move sooner, and sometimes Rita will let people do that. But yeah, there's a potential multiple solution here. So,
may I say?
Yeah.
Just, so that you're aware, because, I always said when I retired, I was going to write a book, but I retired and I haven't written a book yet. But there are, life is full of interesting, very colorful, right? Both of our young ladies are in the same boat in terms of employment support. Okay. I'm just going to give you guys context. We adopted all three of our girls, when they were young children.
That is awesome to hear. That is awesome to hear.
They come from a very challenged start, right? So it's trying to make up an early lifetime with later, ongoing supports as they got older. But the fact of the matter is, they have their needs and abilities. And our other daughter, I'm going to say, just intellectually is a little more challenged, but still, again, has employment supports and the whole bit. And she's actually in school as well. But school is not their thing. It's a challenge. So everything that they embark on will be perseverance and a success when they get to the next step. So they look like everybody else. They act like everybody else. But in terms of learning, probably Christina more than Samantha had some challenges. But that said, even Christina is extremely reliable, extremely, what do you call it? When she makes a commitment, she's right there for you. She will engage in what do you call it, in taking responsibility. Not a problem there. Like, have no worries. But she's not your academic. And when she goes to work, she, again, to have that coaching and that ongoing support through, with the employer and Community Living Toronto, that is what she needs. And that's going to be an ongoing thing. So, yes, when she gets out there to live, it'll be the same kind of involvement we would have with her as we do with Samantha.
Okay.
The only difference with Samantha and her is that Samantha, academically and in terms of intellectual profile, has fewer challenges. Shall I say it that way?
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Christina,
but Christina,
helping and doing it,
yes,
and getting in.
But Christina, that's true. Like, she'll when she puts her mind to stuff, she will do it, and when she makes a commitment, she follows through. So I don't want to paint Christina as being less reliable, because in some ways, I would even venture to say she's more reliable than Samantha. So they both have their gifts and challenges, right?
Sure.
So on balance, I think that they are very good people, and they, So,
well, geez,
like every
I was gonna say, usually Rita calls, like landlords for kind of follow up to get, previous history and stuff, but she doesn't really have that. And you guys are really giving a good review. So, and I can tell it's from the heart. So, so I guess let me just preface this, because I run some of my other properties in a similar way too. So I just want to be very forthright with this. The other two gentlemen that are in the property that Samantha will be sharing with, they're what, 3 to 6 months at the most, Rita? But Dan, the engineer,
Dan has another 2 months, but he'll probably renew.
Yeah. Actually, Rita, let me say one thing. Dan's saying the same thing that I'm hearing from the market speaking right now, that Dan looked at a lot of places, because Dan makes really, really good money. I think he was a 6-figure earner, and he's an engineer, and the guy's really smart. And as soon as he found your place, he wanted to sign right away.
Yeah.
So the market is speaking that it's tough out there right now for a lot of people. But my question for you, Linda, really is that the other two people there, they're probably not going to be there for years. So therefore, Rita would bring in other people, and we're non-discriminatory. I don't care whether it's male, female, whatever. It's about finding the right fit who feels comfortable, who's respectful. So let's say it's not a 55-old engineer. Let's say it's a 52-year-old divorced lady in the future. And then the other gentleman moves out, and it's a 32-year-old government worker that works for the TTC. So pricing that, because we can't predict the future.
No, I know.
That I'm just saying that we always like people to meet each other, but that may be a time where, or is that something that you know that going in? I guess is what I'm saying. You know that.
Yes.
Okay. And that might be the time where if Samantha ends up, somebody has a different personality type, and they find after a few months that, you know what, this person and I just don't really click as much. There's not a lot of negativity, but I just don't feel the love as much as with Dan, the engineer guy before, that maybe at that time, Rita, I would give these guys options if they wanted to move to a different room in the building so that it wasn't disrupting them, or, you know, they have the right to choose wherever they want to live and stuff too. So, but I'm just thinking ahead, Linda. The way I think as a landlord is that it's about the best person that understands everything, the best person for the landlord, and the best residence for that tenant, knowing what the future can always hold. So just want to be clear. But Dan's probably going to stay, I don't know, probably through the end of the year at least, right, Rita?
Maybe longer.
Maybe longer. Okay. And then John?
Yeah.
And then John's been there almost a year already.
Yeah.
And he hasn't talked about leaving anytime soon, has he?
No.
Okay. Because if these guys stay longer and their parents are talking about stability, then that might be the best thing for Samantha too. But again, we can't predict that. So,
Yeah, no. So if I may reiterate, we understand what you're saying, and of course, neither we nor Samantha are ever going to be able to control who lives around them. So, and we always say to her, the only thing you can control is yourself, right? And your responses to situations and the way you handle yourself and so on, right? But the potential, we really like the potential of Christina at some point. If we could work it in where she has a place or a room, but they're not necessarily traveling in the same overall space, close but not in the same, that would be awesome. I don't know if that, so just we can park that thought.
Yeah.
But yes, we would consider looking for a space for Christina too.
Yeah, and I recognize that early on too, Linda, because I want to say one of the biggest challenges of being a landlord is there's a lot of people, strange people out there that call, and there's a lot of people that just aren't educated, and they try to say different things, and not judging anybody, but a landlord has the choice to choose who they want just as much as a tenant has to choose where they want to live. So some people just aren't a good fit. And then sometimes like, well, I can pay you first here and I can do that. And, there's a business norm that's accepted, and first and last is very common. So, but yeah, no, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see Christine potentially, I can't speak future, but I can definitely see a potential for Rita having options, because most of her people generally stay. She usually does 3 to 6 months, because she's found a niche with people just looking for fully furnished, all inclusive, while they make their next decision. Whether it's people divorcing, people coming into the country, people relocating. Her business model has mostly been traveling professionals, although we treat everybody equally. So there's a lot of good potential here. So with that said, Linda, what other questions can I, or Terry, what other questions can we answer for you further that you have on your mind? What other questions do you have for Rita as landlord, and myself as kind of the business guidance person?
No, thank you. So we'll just reiterate what we understand, and then we have a question about linens.
Sure.
So it's first and last month before you get in the door, rent, plus a $200 key deposit. We'll do that by Interact e-transfer, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then, and then when is the rent? So first and last month's rent. So then there would be the second month's rent that needs to get. So when is the monthly rent due? Is it at the beginning of the month?
Yeah, the first.
Yeah. Okay, on the first. And so then we would, like Samantha would ensure that she has that. So that would be June. So June the 1st, you will be needing to receive a month's rent on June the 1st for the month of June, because we will have already paid May and August in this 3-month scenario. Yeah, right?
Actually, May and July.
No, May and July. Sorry. Oh my God.
Yep.
May and July.
But since she'll probably be there August, September, then yeah, you had a Freudian slip that was right, so that's fine.
Yeah, but then actually, and then we're hearing that Rita, you're going to want to know as soon as possible, if Samantha's going to consider the year-long lease. So we would need to have that discussion probably at the beginning of August.
But
beginning of
no, you would have to let me know ahead of time. Yeah.
Oh, sooner than that. Yeah.
well, Rita, I'm gonna. You're the decision maker. I'm gonna overstep the bounds on you in this though, because generally, Rita's mother's in a nursing home. She's in her mid-90s, and not to get too specific, there's issues of dementia. There's been a lot of challenges and decline in the last several years. Rita is a multi-business owner. So Rita's dealing with 7 tenants. A full-time business has been affected by COVID tremendously. She owns a salon, one of the best salon owners that I know. And that's how I met her, through business. And an elderly mother who is a challenge as well, and always having to get COVID tests and things to go visit. So she loves her mother dearly.
Yeah.
But on a side point, Rita, you're probably open. I don't know if I would have Samantha sign another year lease. I would just maybe have her go month to month, given her flexibility, but just understand going in that Rita doesn't usually like to do anything month to month in October, November, December, January, February, March, kind of during those winter months, because the winter months, her business increases. Some of the challenges at the nursing home are involved in the winter months with different activities to be able to have family there assist at times. So Rita, I would say, do the 3-month to show commitment, but then just as long as there's common courtesy and discussion, and try to give 60-day notice, and there's forms for that need to be certain understood between either landlord and tenant. As long as there's communication, and say, okay, well, so sign in for May, June, July. Let's do August, September, October, or August, September, 2 more months, or just go month to month after that, and then make a decision starting October 1st, because the market, in my experience the last 10 years, the market does change kind of after Labor Day because of schooling and people moving because of the lifestyle of society. So just keep that in mind, that I don't know if it's really in your best interest, Linda, to sign a year lease after 3 months. Maybe just go month to month. Just know that, that she doesn't want to have vacancy, because taking care of her mother is a priority as much as you guys want to take care of your daughter, and her business is so as long as we all understand that going in, that Rita, that gives Samantha more flexibility.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Linda.
No, just so I think we were trying to explain to Rita too that, I mean, obviously when we're going month to month, we're paying $100 more a month, right? Like
the term is more.
The other thing too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't.
The shorter term is more, and then midterm is a little less expensive, and then a year long. Is that right, Rita? Like there's a slight difference in.
Yeah, that's true.
That's also a consideration, because if Samantha were to continue, and we knew that it was already, and once we realize it's a good fit, then the primary consideration would be what is the most economical way of doing it, and still keeping a commitment.
Okay,
right. Why pay
$100 rent more month to month to month to month if that amounts to 12 months.
Right.
Yeah,
and
no,
actually,
that's right.
yep, I wasn't even thinking about the price point, Rita. That's on me. So yeah, they'd want to lock in for better value. Just keep in mind, Linda, that these guys the other two tenants aren't signed, through for another year, that it could be new people coming in. But then if there's not a good fit, any decent landlord that has a brain on their head, if a tenant is really unhappy, if they market and they can find someone to replace them, then it can be an easy transition. It's just that Rita only transitions the first of the month. That's just how she's always done it, just because it's best.
Right,
So,
and that makes sense.
but yeah, if somebody comes in, there's really that issues, then if there's any issues, and Rita hasn't really had any to my knowledge, because this is part of the process that I help her with and screening, and we try to get good people everybody knows the challenges on either side. So,
So if you're okay with communicating, of course, primarily with Samantha, because we don't want to be completely overstepping her, but also keeping us in the communication loop as well, just, in an ongoing way, that would be good too. So,
Okay, so what do you mean by that exactly?
Well, like, especially around like when we have to make this decision too, like if you're going to just ask Samantha herself, that's great, but we would like to be part of that conversation as well, like for the next steps, let's say.
Oh, yeah. No,
Or if something came up and you had a question for her, again, I'm just making it up, like if garbage day's Friday and they take it out Thursday night, okay? And I know this won't happen because we do this all the time here anyway. They have their responsibilities. But let's say something didn't happen and you were wondering, of course, you're going to ask her. But if it seems like you need more information, like feel free to ask us as well. Whatever the issue is. I can't even think of one, but I'm just saying if something came up and, you are approaching it with her, if you feel you needed more information, we're happy to be informed as well, and we can maybe provide some support.
I appreciate that, Linda. Yes, I definitely will do that if there's any issue. But I don't foresee.
I don't think there will be. Yeah,
Samantha seems like a pretty responsible young lady, and she seems like someone who will communicate properly. And I think from what I hear from you and Terry, you've brought them up pretty nice, and you're the communication is very important between you and your daughter, so I think that should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So and then linen. Sorry.
Linens.
It's a very. Sorry, Mark. Linens, like the bed's there, but does Samantha bring her own linens, or?
She can if she wants. Some people do. I do provide, but if she wants to bring her own, that's fine. But I have everything.
That's a double bed, you said?
It's a double, yeah.
Yeah, the way our model's set up, it's for convenience to have all utilities, hydro, everything inclusive, fully furnished bed, closets, smart TVs in every room, internet. It's easy. It's easier for people to decide instead of setting up utilities. Because when you're short term, who wants to set up utilities for a few months and then sometimes bills get lost in the mail? So yeah, she can bring in her own linens if she wants, but they're there as a convenience if she doesn't. So just one of the biggest challenges I will say in the business model we have is that since hydro and everything is inclusive, being respectful of turning lights off, being respectful to not taking 30-minute showers, being respectful to not leaving the stove on. And we laugh at these things, but I say these because these are things that have all happened at my properties in America as well as in Toronto. So just always, thinking, because Rita's pretty conservative. So and then doing laundry, kind of doing laundry on a weekly basis. Don't not wash your sheets for a month. To me, that's not hygienic. So
no, they do that now, and but certainly, and we'll continue to give reminders.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, I know. Yeah, but, and I know that Rita was describing to Samantha about the prime time for laundry and the most expensive time, and I mean we tried to observe that here too. Yeah, like where at night instead of during the day. at peak hours.
It's an ask. It's an ask of respect. We're not here to limit anybody's lifestyle, but that's one thing we've done to kind of. I mean, trust me. Property taxes went up this year. Hydro went up this year. Rates. Actually, I think hydro might have a freeze on it, but a lot of things, certain things went up. But yet, certainly by law, there's no rent freezes, and some people are hurting financially. So if we just all can conserve together, it allows landlords to keep prices down and allows value to be given between each other, and it's a good fit overall. So
no, everything's gone up here.
What other questions, Terry, Linda? I love the questions you guys are asking. You guys have definitely you've definitely thought this through, and it's a big step for your daughter. So what other questions can we answer for you? What else is on your mind?
I don't have any because Rita answered quite a few more than
Okay.
we saw her. So, I don't think there's going to be any problem with Samantha or with Rita or the two gentlemen that are there. We've met one.
Yeah.
But, and the other guy was in security, Rita said, I thought.
Yeah, he's a security guard for 2 apartment buildings, so he's hardly ever home.
Yeah,
he's
barely ever.
You know what company? I used to be one of them too.
And Terry was laughing. No, because Terry's actually we're both ex-military as well, but Terry went into my career is in education, and that's what I did more than 3 decades in. But I also served in the military. We both did. Terry for a long time.
Only 42.
But he was a security. He went into security.
I was a paragon for years.
After
supervisor, area supervisor, site service manager, you name it. Did it all.
Oh, so cool.
Well, I want to say thank you for your service to our country.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, we have a lot of family members who served. Actually, our son-in-law was in Afghanistan. He had 2 tours in Afghanistan.
I have a lot of American friends that have served, and there's a lot of respect. I think it's lost in America to what veterans have endured. So I always want to say that my father was actually military too. So
yeah,
so
yeah, that was tough. Yeah.
Anyway, so I got no more. No, honestly, Rita, you were talking about the agreement type of thing, and everything's spelled out in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get a copy of that.
Right?
You would get it as soon as the day after, because I take it to work and I copy it and I give it to you the day after. So as soon as you sign it.
Oh, signature. No, that's maybe.
I would like it if possible. I don't know.
Yeah, Rita, it has to be given the time of signing. You can't do it the day after. If after money's transferred and things are signed. See, the way Rita usually does it is just if you have a smartphone, you can use your computer, just transfer, sign a lease all in person. That way it's both protected. But yeah, you can get a copy, or she could email it. You can no, Rita, just have 2 copies. That's the way I always do it.
Yeah,
just have
you
2
can
copies.
take pictures of it that day too, but I usually give you a physical copy as soon as I copy it.
What I'd like to, I'm a new face. You got to put up with me. What I'm trying to say was that the rental agreement that Samantha signs, is it possible that Linda and I also sign so that Rita will know one way or the other she's going to get her money?
Yeah, signatories. Like I was going to ask you about signatories.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. More than welcome.
If that would Rita's mind even more, because we don't mind doing that. And if for some reason, I don't know why it would be, but for some reason, on the first of the month, if it's not transferred, give us a call. It will be fast by the end of that day.
Okay.
Because the responsibility is primarily Samantha's, but just in terms of having that support, right? Like just so you know, Rita, that there's background support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great idea. Thank you,
Rita. I don't think I'll have an issue with these guys are military. This is respect, so we're being even more candid than we need to be. But I was going to say that if you guys want to see the form, the form's actually online on the LTB site. It's a standard residential lease form that all landlords have to comply with. So it's actually actually I was going to make one comment. This is kind of a comment you guys are going to laugh at, but you said you didn't have any other questions. I was going to say, Linda, do you have a Facebook account?
I do.
Okay, I would add Rita as a friend just to help with the communication. Okay, because that's always just social media is such a terms of easy communication nowadays too. But definitely do that. And just one thing, Terry, are you Italian as well, sir? Are you Italian?
No, he's the Newfoundland.
Oh, okay.
He's a newbie.
Okay, because I was going to say, Linda, I guess you're certainly Italian, but myself not being Italian, I always make the comment that you never want to make an Italian woman upset, because then you're in the doghouse for who knows how long. So,
Well, you know, Terry's Newfoundlander version of that is happy wife, happy life.
Happy wife, happy life. Most agree, Terry. You're a smart man. So, but no. And then
going back to the communication.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mark.
No, go ahead.
I'd rather communicate, Rita, with you directly, like either through email or text or phone call. But you know.
Yeah, no, I would always call you first, Linda.
Yeah, it's always best. A lot of people text and things like that, but phone communication is, in my opinion, the quickest, most efficient way. Leave a voicemail, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
It's just so you guys feel more comfortable. I was just saying, add Rita on social media. You can kind of get an idea of her as a business entrepreneur in the GTA too. So, plus Linda, Rita's been a salon owner for 31 years. I know she offers discounts to tenants, but you'd have to negotiate with her if family members of tenants get discounts on manicure, pedicure, and hair stuff too. So, but that's her business. So.
We'll talk.
Yeah, no, for sure.
My fingers and toes are, screaming COVID.
That's okay. I'm very safe here too. But yeah, so you'll get an attachment to the lease as well, and that includes all the cleaning duties and everything else that we mentioned before. Just to be clear, so that's about it, really.
Okay, so now we're sitting at April 24th. April 24th. So is that when do you want the money by?
Yeah, actually, Rita,
Yeah,
you and I weren't going to make a decision on this call, but actually, but no, Linda, actually, Rita runs all her business stuff through me, and I would actually override that and say, Rita, I think you should make a decision because of all the people you've had, and including, in fact, I would call and cancel your 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock that you had showings today on Saturday, and just say the place has been taken. Although it's not taken until a lease is signed and money is in hand. But I don't know, Linda, I believe in karma. I believe in connection. I believe in, sometimes this is weird, but sometimes the universe just talking to put the right people in each other's paths. And I just hear so much respect from you guys as a family. I see future potentials helping you guys as well for Christine. And so to make it easy on everybody, because again, sometimes Rita gets some weird calls offline that are just a total waste of her time. Rita, I would say set the next appointment to meet, to transfer and sign. But again, this is your property. It's your call, but that's my recommendation to you.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And Linda, I have to say, I really appreciate you and your husband and your daughter. You guys seem like an awesome family. I really love everything that you said. And I respect you guys. So, I'd be happy to have Samantha come and live with us,
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. Thank you. So do you want to let us know when we can come? If you continue to be choosing us as your next tenant, not us, but Samantha, can you let us know then when we would come to sign? Because yes, of course,
you'd have to come today because it's like I said, like Mark said, it's nothing is a done deal until everything is done.
Okay.
So, do you have time within the next? Yeah. Like how soon can you come by and sign the lease and all that?
Anytime today, whatever.
What time should you look?
Oh, is Samantha in a class right now?
No, I gotta check.
Terry's just gonna check because Samantha was online.
Oh, okay.
Well, don't push them too much. I mean, are you busy with clients tomorrow, Rita? Are you seeing your mom at the nursing home? Is your schedule booked?
Tomorrow, tomorrow I'm a little bit busy. Yeah.
Okay, and you got clients. Okay, I just don't like pushing people. Like, okay, well, we got to do it today. I just want to let's just come.
Well,
to
no, I say that because I can hear that Linda wants to get this done too, right?
Okay, no, I agree. There's two sides to it.
How about 3 o'clock?
Yeah, 3 o'clock would be perfect. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, it's 3 o'clock. Because then it gives us time also to get our affairs in order here, like with Samantha offline and getting our
well, it's already 1:30. Is an hour and a half. I mean, is an hour and a half. You don't rush. I mean, you want to do 4 o'clock?
We can do 4. Yeah, we don't have to do right at 3.
Okay, 4 is fine. 4 is good.
Okay, let's do 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so today at 4. All right.
Yep.
4 o'clock. Beautiful.
Actually, one last.
You know what?
Actually, one last question, just in the future. Does Christine have her own car, Linda?
Oh no, neither of them drives.
Okay, because the TTC is right there on the corner. It's like a 3-minute walk for transportation.
I know. That's precisely it. And that's precisely why we like it as well.
Another selling point.
We're only 4 kilometers away from you guys. So, Rita, like I think we mentioned that to Rita already.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of in the same neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
So it's familiar territory for the girls, and they do they prefer the bus. And they all got their G1s, but they never went further. And one day maybe they'll really want to drive, but not now.
Okay.
That's their preference.
I guess that makes sense because that kind of is old Italian. A lot of after World War II, when the migration came over, the Italians started buying up properties there in the 50s and 60s. And not that I'm trying to date anyone. Rita, don't send me a bad email after this.
Oh, no. Well, that was exactly what we did. I was telling Rita. I mean, we're at Keel and Wilson, but they, same thing. Like, my parents did exactly the same thing. And they grew up. They landed here, and then built up around here, and then moved on.
Good.
Should move further north.
Excellent.
And you were going to say something before, Linda?
Yeah, I was going to say when we come today, we might bring Christina along as well, just so you can meet her.
Sure. Yeah.
Just so you can have a peek at her too. So, and then if anything is possible in the future, then
you never know. Like people come and go, and sometimes they want to leave early or whatever, and there's a spot. I mean, why not? I mean, it sounds like a perfect ideal situation for the both of them. So. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Just as long as there's no sister issues in the backyard with like throwing clothes on the, and just
it's not.
No drama.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hilarious.
I'm teasing.
Okay. All right. So 4 o'clock, Rita will come by your way then.
Yes, sounds good.
Okay. And we'll have everything.
Yeah. I'll have it ready. You can read it over, and then you can sign it, and then we'll be done, and everybody will feel a little bit more at ease.
Okay.
All
right.
Well, Terry, Linda, it was a pleasure talking to you. Look forward to meeting you guys here, as soon as possible. It's a different world we certainly live in, but I thank you for your time and allowing me to ask you questions to kind of guide Rita. But to me, this is a slam dunk. This was an easy decision. I felt like I asked a lot more questions than I needed to, but I just usually try to get to know people and just try to understand one's mindset and get a feel from the heart. And you guys have a lot of connections, and hopefully we can help Christine in the future too. So, all right, Rita, I'm just going to back off. So I'll let you continue talking with her, and I got to get with some other clients too. So, all right, you guys have a good day. All right, take care.
Nice to meet you. Thanks,
Yep.
Mark.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so we'll see you guys at 4 o'clock, and then we'll get everything set up, and that's about it.
Okay, awesome. Anyway, you have my phone number. Whatever, if anything changes, let me know. But otherwise, we'll see you at 4.
Yeah, I don't foresee anything happening, but if anything does, I will definitely give you a call, and same for you. But otherwise, we'll see you in a few hours.
Okay. Thanks so much, Rita.
Okay, you're very welcome. Thanks, Linda.
Okay.
Thanks for your time, you guys.
Bye for now.
See you soon. Bye.
Okay, so just a recap. Not sure how long that went on for, but actually it's over an hour. So just kind of explain my mindset, I guess, with this. And I'll put these in maybe one or two. I'll definitely put it in my group. But not every tenant's a good fit for every landlord, and not every landlord is a good fit for every tenant. But when we all ask the right kind of questions, we all have a human understanding, I'll say, of everything going in. Rita, I've been helping with properties up there. Hers is kind of the 400, 401, just south of Woodbridge. She's actually North York. I guess the tenant's near Keel and Wilson, I think she said. And I haven't met anyone of them. But anyway, sounds like a good fit. And there's a potential for a second person for Rita to be able to help with that family. And that's just a cool opportunity that presented itself, too, to be able to help the family to provide solution for what they're looking for their daughters is a cool thing. So, yeah, there you had it, kind of live and uncut. Rita's the property owner. I'm just kind of trying to guide and help her with decisions to navigate the waters. I help with a lot of business stuff. So respectful people, military, that's what you guys are looking for. Actually, it was over an hour, as I see. Yeah. So, credit checks in this situation, you could certainly do it. There's no landlords to go back and really ask, because the two girls are in the house. They're adopted. What a wonderful couple to adopt these kids, and then to kind of guide them and help them learn more on their own. I've never dealt with anybody that's had issues with OD, or that's been on ODSP or EI. So that's obviously going to be a question for the landlord to ask. Make sure there's no issues of rent being paid, but the parents stepped in and said, let us know if there's any issues. We'll certainly comply, I think she said. We all know things can happen. So they're definitely willing to make sure things get done if their daughter does have some challenges. But overall, a great call. Hopefully you guys learned that bottom line is communication, communication, communication. Don't look at people as a dollar sign. Get to know people. Get to know what's in their mind. Get to know what's in their heart. Get to know how they think. And that's, I don't want to make this about me and stuff. But my background is, I'm a language major in college. I studied linguistics. And being an entrepreneur as long as I've been through a lot of seminars about personal development, basically how to understand the spoken word on a subconscious level, neuro-linguistic programming, psychoneuroduplication. So that's how I screen. I've been trying to help Rita do that, because people are people, and sure, people can lie, but you can always, if you're tuned into it, you can tell who's lying. But I don't think there's any lying here going on. This is just pretty straightforward. So even a female moving in with two other professional males went over that as a potential challenge. But they're choosing this property because of the landlord. They're choosing it because of the location. They're choosing it based on the price. So when you guys are out there looking for properties or looking for tenants, I guess this question more so for the tenants. Look for your price point, but interview your landlords. Don't just accept price point and location. Interview your landlords. Some of the challenges that you guys are having out there are because you're not interviewing your landlords. Interview the landlords to make sure that they're professionally respectful. If there are issues, that things will be fixed, and they're not going to just, take your money and not respond and respect your time. That's, those are big challenges. So interview the tenant as much as you should interview the landlord to make sure it's a good fit. And, this is, like I said, every situation is different. So, any comments or feedback you guys want to give on this in my group, that'd be great. Hopefully it helped you guys out. And so this, again, let me go back to the very beginning, the way I understood this. This was a call. Rita only advertises on Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, and Craigslist. But I know, because of my internet marketing businesses, that other sites can take feeds off, like Craigslist, for example. And so she found it on a site, Zoomper. I haven't even heard of that site. She found it on there. And then Rita's ad says, do not call or do not text. Do not email, do not text, do not message. So the mother had called, set an appointment. Rita gave 24-hour notice to the tenant currently there, because there's one gentleman that's out at the end of the month, and set the showing, came and saw the house, saw the room, met, I think, one or maybe both the other tenants. Rita was doing her due diligence and let me know about this potential person. Had other people, had other showings, even had showings today. And just based on this call, I mean, again, landlords, you guys can make your own choice, but based on this call, I think it's a good fit. So why not help this family out? So yeah, it was just, I think they just saw it like 2 or 3 days ago at the most, and then decision now, and then they're coming to sign lease and transfer, funds and complete the agreement. So, and they're just doing 3 months, which is good for the parents to kind of make sure things are going to be good for them, which is the way Rita's got a little bit higher rate, 'cause you're short term. And after that, they may want to sign again longer, lock in longer to get the better value of what she's offering. But they can make that decision at that time if they do so. So, but the mother's even bringing, like I said, Christine to meet for potential housing at that location as well, because there are 7 units. So, all right, that sums it up. I hope you guys learned. And yeah, if you guys want to add me on Facebook, feel free to add me on Facebook, facebook.com/Mark Manderville. Obviously, just add. My profile is not locked down. Feel free to add. And let's just all work together in this group. I'm tired of all the negativity out there. There's this tenant versus landlord mentality. And that is one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this call, to say that there doesn't have to be a me versus them. It doesn't have to be this division. There's too much division in the world right now. There's too much division of society and government and everything else, especially tenant landlord with the challenges. Let's just be human. Let's just be human and communicate and try to provide solutions. Let's learn how to ask the right questions. Screen your tenants, screen your landlords, ask all these questions going in, because then you won't have these headaches. That half the headaches I see in some of these groups can be avoided by just doing something like this. So, again, hopefully that helps by offering you guys value. And yeah, so all right, guys, Mark Manderville signing off. Have a great day. Keep helping others out there, and trying to spread the positivity and provide solutions. So have a great day, guys. Thanks.